Hey guys, it's me, Jamie, back with another video. So today I'm doing a video that I'm super excited about, and that is a book recommendations video, and it is adult books that I think are really good to start with. So these recommendations I've chosen specifically for people who predominantly read YA, and I do also just want to say that I'm not saying that you shouldn't be reading YA, because obviously I read YA all the time. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just found that my reading has become so much more enjoyable when I read a really wide variety rather than reading one genre or one range of books. And there are so many fantastic adult books out there that I feel like are getting overlooked. So yeah, I just wanted to do recommendations for some of my personal favorites. Also, I'm so super happy to announce that this video has been sponsored by Skillshare. So basically, Skillshare is an online learning platform that has thousands and thousands of classes from anything from fine arts, photography, film production, creative writing, all that sort of stuff, all made by professionals in their field. It's a super affordable opportunity to learn all these new skills that maybe aren't so easily accessible in college or in classes in the outside world. A class that I'm personally really loving at the moment, I have just finished doing it, but it is a class by Sabaa Tahir. It is creative writing, creating fictional characters. I've had such a great time doing that one because creative writing has always been something that really interested me, but something I've been quite scared of and something that I never thought that I could accomplish. But I've just finished those classes now and I'm ready to write my first novel, okay? It has been such a great time. I think it's totally worthwhile checking out, and I do have a link down below in the description bar and in the comments where you can get a 2-month free trial for a premium membership, which gives you access to every single class on the website. It is limited to the first 200 people who click the link, but I would so truly recommend checking it out, and check out the creative writing class if that's something you're interested in. So again, just a massive thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and without further ado, let's get into the recommendations. So I did really have to think about my first recommendation because I wanted to recommend a thriller, but I didn't want to recommend too many thrillers. I just decided on one, but that is You by Carolyn Kepnes. This is a book that I read earlier this year and I absolutely fell in love. Thrillers are great for someone who is a little bit scared of adult books because they are so easy to read and so fast paced, and they're definitely very plot heavy over character heavy, which I find just makes for a really easy and fast read. So this book you might have heard of before because it was turned into a Netflix show this year, but it is such a good book as well. I would totally recommend picking this one up even if you have seen the show already. So it is about a girl who is being stalked by this guy who it happens to be the narrator of this book, so it's being told through the perspective of the stalker, which gives a really interesting and creepy perspective. It's so enjoyable. I find it almost even scarier reading from his perspective and seeing how messed up his mind is. So basically we just kind of dive into his obsession with this girl, it's also really great because the girl that he's obsessed with, the girl that he's stalking, is such an awful person as well, and we know that, but because he's an unreliable narrator, you kind of see his point of view and you're just you're so wrong, why are you wasting your time, but also you also feel really sorry for her. It's just so crazy and I totally recommend it. I also love it because it features one of my favorite tropes, which is just about spoiled New York rich kids. This is Gossip Girl alternate universe. I'm into it. I'm so into it. But yeah, I totally recommend this to someone. It's a really good adult book to start with and I absolutely adore it. The next book I'm going to talk about is a book that I read in high school, and that is The Beach by Alex Garland. Now, I believe this is a modern classic, but it's just so good. Don't let the word classic scare you off. So it is about a guy who is on his OE and he is currently in Thailand, and then in his hostel he finds a map that leads to a secret beach, and he's like, wow, this is crazy, I'm gonna go see if I can find it. So he decides to follow the map and try and find this secret island, and he does. He finds this secluded beach that has kind of a community of people who have kind of abandoned civilization and have been cut off from the world, and he joins them, and it's just really messed up. He makes these friends, he makes some enemies. He also kind of gets tormented by his own mind, and it's just really good. It's just so readable. It's such an easy read. I read it when I was 15 and I was this is my new favorite book. It's just really scary, and it talks about the scarier side of the human mind and just of humans without civilization as well. The ensemble cast of characters is so amazing. It has a trope of unrequited love that's not reciprocated, which I always love because I hate romance and I like it when it's realistic and it's hey, sometimes you just like people that don't like you back. It's just such a really good time, and I totally recommend it. It's super thrilling as well, and just pick it up, just trust me. There is also a movie but like don't watch the movie because the movie is so bad and like completely veers off like some of the major plot points in the book. So don't watch the movie, just read this book. It's amazing. The next book I am going to talk about is one that I've mentioned on my channel so many times, but I just feel like it would be wrong to not mention it in an adult book recommendation. But it is actually a fantasy, and it is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I totally think this is going to be good for YA readers because it is about a teenage girl, but there are very adult themes in it, and I kind of age her up in my head, to be honest, when I read it. But she is still like a young woman, and she has lost her family, and so she goes off and she tries to become an assassin so she can avenge them eventually in her life. That's like her plan. It's such a good first book to a series, and it has also another one of my favorite tropes, which is a girl like going to an academy to like train in something that isn't necessarily like something that we get in like everyday life. So she goes to be an assassin and an acolyte of the Red Church, and it's just so good. Like, I don't even know how to talk about it and do it justice. Like, Jay Kristoff's writing style is so amazing. It's so witty, it's so funny. The world building is incredible. Yes, I have heard some people say that it's quite a slow start. I think it's so worth it, however. Like, getting through that slow start to get to all the action like 1/3 into the book, or even like 1/4 into the book, is just so good. Characters are amazing, all the plot twists are amazing. I just absolutely adore it, and I feel like people need to pick this up. Also, I feel like I'm kind of preaching to the wrong audience here because I feel like a lot of people have picked it up already, but if you haven't, this is me telling you to do it like ASAP. Okay, thanks. Yes, Nevernight, so good. Pre-order Dark Dawn in September. Cool. The next book, okay, yeah, I've really tried to squeeze this one in here. I don't think it would be a Leo Reads video without this book, but it's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I think this one is really, really good for YA readers because it is a campus novel. It's set in college, and it is also like an ensemble cast, like it's a group of friends. So basically it is about a boy named Richard. He goes to this new college and he kind of becomes enamored with this small elite group of people that take the classics class, and the teacher of the classics class is a bit wacky, and he doesn't want more than like 5 students in his class. And so Richard is like, damn, like it's my goal to like get into that class. And he does, because he has a basic knowledge of Greek and classics before he like goes to the college. And he kind of gets swept up into their world. Stuff starts going wrong. There is murder, there is lust, there is inebriation. Like, it's just everything. Like, it's just so good. It is a modern classic, and it is quite chunky and quite dense. Like, the writing is very, very lyrical and flowery, which might turn some people off, but when you get to the like bits that are really fast paced and really action packed, it is so good. I also just find like I love books like Six of Crows and like books like this where it has like such a massive like ensemble like group, and they're like this little tight knit group. I love stuff like that. I just love it so much. I think it's a really, really good place to start with adult books, and especially with modern classics. And I know some people will disagree with me, but like I said, it just wouldn't be a Leo Reads video without this in here. So everyone read this book. Thanks. And the last book I'm going to talk about is another personal favourite, and that is Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. I would recommend Liane Moriarty as an author to anyone who has never picked up an adult book before, just because her writing is so funny and it's so easy to read, and it's just so good. But I thought that Big Little Lies would be a good one to mention because it's the one that's probably the most popular. There is a really good TV show out about it, and it is maybe her like most gripping read, even if it's not my personal favorite. But I still like love it as well. Like, just because it's not my favorite of hers doesn't mean it's not like one of my favorite books. So basically it is about a group of mums of like primary school kids in like a small like beach town in Australia, and they basically get swept up in all this drama and all their like lives and everything, and like their feuds with each other. Like, it's just so funny. Like, the concept is just so hilarious to me, and it's amazing, and it kind of makes me want to be like a stay-at-home mum. Even though that's like not the life I've chosen for myself, this made me want like that life. All the action is just like so wild. Like, everything that goes down is incredible, and it just is such a fast and like addicting read. I think this is just such a great one to start with because of how like addicting it is and how fast paced it is. And yeah, the characters are hilarious, and once you've read this, go and watch the TV show because both are just like works of art. And also, if this doesn't sound like your cup of tea, or if you've already read it, just pick up another Liane Moriarty book, because like honestly I haven't read one yet that is bad. Like, I think I've read every single one of her books except for one, and all of the ones I've read have been a good time. So like, go pick up this book. It's amazing. I hope you love it. Yes. So those are all the books that I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope that you have found some ones that you're kind of interested in. I know there weren't that many, but I just did want to make this quite a short little video, and maybe I'll do like a part 2 later on if you guys like it. Also, let me know if you've read these books, and if you don't like them. If you like them, that's cool. Let's have a discussion about it. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye!